welcome to second part of Final Fantasy playthrough. Here we have the actual beginning of the game. I like this beginning a lot. It's very different from every other Final Fantasy in that I'm kind of just this generic character, just sitting here, and there's really no instructions on what to do or explanation about what's going on. I was just plopped in the middle of a world to explore. In many ways, very classic Nintendo video game, in that you just kind of get plopped and you hit A and B button and find out, what the buttons do. But in this case, this is not an action game, it's an RPG, and so I could walk around this world, but they also provide some pretty obvious hints. There's some towns up above and this big castle. So my natural inclination is to go visit the castle. Before we do that, let's get acquainted with how some of the controls work. So if I hit select, I can actually change around my character order. Now I set this up initially to be the correct character order, so I want to maintain it the way it is, but annoyingly, if, for example, my character Dave gets poisoned after the battle, it will just take Dave and swap him with whoever's at the bottom and give me this light up. So I will have to keep going back to this screen to have it swapped back the right way, because the last thing I want is my black mage up in front, given that he is the weakest character. It's a horrible game mechanic, but it's there, so we need the select screen so that we can fix it when they automatically screw it up for us. Also, this should be the last session where I complain about the gameplay, because overall, this is a very groundbreaking game. Excuse me. Groundbreaking game for the time, but I'm going to point out the little annoyances that in later Final Fantasy and other RPG video games does end up getting fixed. Though some of the annoyances in this game get carried on over to Final Fantasy II as well. If I hit start, then I can inspect my characters. I can look at the items that I have. Of course, I have no items. Magic spells, of course, nobody has any magic spells. Weapons, armor, status. Characters start off with no weapons, no armor. Each character's level up works the same. So everybody, by default, needs to get 40 experience points to go to level 2. So as long as none of my characters die, all my characters will level up at the same time. And of course, we can see the strength, agility, etc. about our character. And of course, everyone's at level 1. Now there's a hidden thing that gets revealed later, and if I hold on to B and then press and release select, I also get the world map. That's revealed later in the game, or you can just know it. So here we are. So there's absolutely no reason to visit the castle from the point of view of completing the game. There's just some information about what's going on in the world here. So let's go ahead and visit the castle, because all we know is the world's been thrown in the darkness and these 4 warriors show up. And obviously that's me, but we don't really know a lot more. The king is looking for the light warriors. You do not happen to be them, do you? Of course I am. That'd be silly if I wasn't. Let's go ahead and visit these rooms. Oh, my sister. What about your sister? I don't know. Let's go find out. Still getting over this aggravating cough. In sadness, the queen locked herself inside, except she forgot to actually lock herself, so I'll just barge right in on her, like any warrior would do. Just barges in on the queen while she's sad, trying to be locked away in a room. I am Jane, Queen of Corneria. Please save my daughter, Princess Sarah. Okay, so that's who that girl's sister must be, is Princess Sarah, and she needs saving. Um, now notice she says she's the Queen of Corneria. If you play the remakes, the name of this city, or this castle, is Cornelia. A lot of that has to do with the way the Japanese works. Japanese does not have L's, and so whenever they're pronouncing words that have L's in them, they will replace them with R's. And if you read the literal translation, the literal Japanese, it says Corneria. And so that's how it ended up being in the NES version of the English NES version, but later they changed that to Cornelia. So there's more people to talk to, but let's go up these steps. King is looking for the Light Warriors, yes. And here is the king. Light Warriors, just as in Lucan's prophecy, Garland has kidnapped the princess. Please help her. Okay, so here's some really stupid plot stuff. Why, if somebody named Lucan, who I guess lived a long time ago, or maybe not so long ago, who knows, if they knew that Garland was going to kidnap the princess, wouldn't they try to do something about it? Or maybe it's just fate. There's nothing they can do about it. It's gonna happen no matter what. I don't know why it had to be Lucan's prophecy that he would kidnap her. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But who cares? Let's fight. Let's go visit the town. So here's the town. Also, by the way, any of these are all the exact same town. Doesn't matter which one you enter. This is Corneria, the Dream City. And it's very dreamy. See your face upon the clean water. How dirty. Come wash your face. Oh, good. And we got some dancer lady. So we can see over here we have an inn. I'm not going to stay at the inn. Let's talk about the inn for a second. They're saying, do you want to save your data? The only way to save your game is to visit the inn. If you are done playing and you're like, okay, I want to go do something else, you have to go find a town and pay money to stay in the inn to save your game, which stinks. But it is the game mechanic. So this gets fixed in the remakes as well, where you can just save your game anywhere in the overworld, like I believe most Final Fantasy games work that way. And of course, staying at the end costs 30 gold, or actually mithril, mithril, I believe. Nope, it says 30 gold. Okay, which stinks. So to save your game, you have to pay money. And then we have this nice throwback to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Hold reset while you turn power off. If you were playing the cartridge game and you just hit the power off, you were likely to have your whole entire game lost, and you have to start from the very beginning. No matter how many hours you put into the game and how far you got, you could just find yourself all the way back at the beginning. Exceptionally frustrating. And then if your contacts were bad on the game and you try to start it, and you're sitting there trying to start it, and you're getting the blinking gray screen, and by the time you get it fixed, you realize that you inadvertently lost all your save data. Something we do not have with emulators or with the remakes. So here in the weapon shop, again, another gripe. Here's all these weapons. I don't know who can carry what. There's only one way to tell. So let's start off with the Iron Hammer. Yes, we'll buy the Iron Hammer. We'll give it to Dave. So what we're going to do now is just exit, hit the start button to take us to the menu, go to the weapon button, the weapon screen, and Dave can equip it. We want to know who else can equip it. So let's trade it with Aurora. So I have to go through this. Aurora cannot equip it. For each and every single person. Yeah. So now, after going through all that hassle, we realize that only Dave can equip the Iron Hammer, which is exceptionally frustrating. Especially if you end up buying an item and you realize that none of your characters can equip it. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to show you something there. So, as we can see, Aurora is a black belt, so we can kind of use that to guess that the wooden nunchucks are for her. So let's give those to Aurora. Given that, I believe the red mage can carry the rapier. And I'm going to take a risk here. I think the black mage can hold a small dagger. I believe the difference is the dagger will give a stronger attack, but the staff will increase the magic. But let's see what happens. Yay, yay, and yay. Okay, good. So I did not waste any money there. And now I'm in the armor shop, and same deal. I don't know who all can equip the chainmail. Almost certainly my fighter can. So let's go through and see who all can equip the chainmail. Yes, my fighter can. I think my red mage can. Very unlikely that my black mage can. That my black mage cannot. So we'll go ahead and give Athena her equip the chainmail. Let's go ahead and buy another chainmail. Give that to Dave. And now let's go with the wooden mail. And we'll see who all can hold that. Yay, Aurora can. Probably not my black mage either. Okay. So, last of all, buy the cloth, give it to my black mage Ariana, and finally, after all that, everybody has some sort of armor. Which leads me, finally, to getting some magic. Most of all, I want a cure. That's a very important magic. So let's give it to Athena. Notice the cures, all level 1 magics are 100 gold. So that means right now I can only buy 1 magic. Because my black mage is going to be magicless. Oops, sorry. Athena will learn cure. Yes, okay. So my black mage will remain magicless right now. So now if I go to magic, Athena, she has cure, so she can cast cure on people. Let's get some more plot. Lucan left this town to join his colleagues at Crescent Lake, so Lucan is still alive. Please save the princess. Fine, I will. It's a boring game if I didn't. The king is sure that someday the Light Warriors will come to save the princess, just as in Lucan's prophecy. Good old Lucan. So this right here is where you go when someone dies to have them revived. And this is where I can buy potions. My home is Provoca, a beautiful port city far east of here. Probably a hint about what's coming up next. So, now that I have properly equipped my characters, let's go ahead and join some battles. So, in the battles, I can obviously do one of these 5 things. Fight, magic, drink, item, and run. I think they're all pretty self-explanatory. Now let's talk about the battle system. So if I say fight, I get to select which one of these imps I want to fight. There's an annoying part of the battle system where Dave attacks this imp, and Aurora also attacks this imp. And let's say Dave hits the imp, kills it. When Aurora's turn comes, she will try to attack the enemy in this slot, of which there will be none, because that enemy will be dead. and will just have an ineffective attack. It's very annoying. They did not fix it in Final Fantasy II. It has the exact same problem in Final Fantasy II. But it is what it is, so let's just have each character attack their own imp. And there I got the first attack, so I got to just attack everyone without being attacked. So now, this next turn, the imps will also attack me during the turn. As we could see before, Dave, Aurora, and Athena are all capable of killing imps in one attack. Ariana is not. It makes sense. Ariana is a mage, not a fighter. So what we're going to do is just have Dave and Aurora attack the first one, and Athena and Ariana attack the second one. That should guarantee this is the last round. Ariana was able to kill that imp in 2 turns. Monsters perished. I got 7 experience points and 30 gold. So since it was 40 to get to the next level, that means I'm at 33 to the next level. My recommendation is that as long as you're level 1, stay around these trees. The trees vastly give you a greater chance of running into bad guys than walking over the grass, so we want to stay in those trees. We just want to stay in those trees. If I make a mistake, I can hit B button to go back. You just want to stay in these trees around the town, because my most likely bad guy is the imps. As you can see, I can very easily destroy the imps, though there is a possibility of getting other slightly more difficult enemies. It's not that dangerous because the town's nearby if I need to heal up. And then all the imps are dead, so that should give me another 7 experience points, leading me to 26 till level 2. Oh, great, these party of 5 imps is a very good party to have to fight against. As you notice, there's a lot of missing that goes on, especially early in the game. And miss. It's one of the complaints I've read people have about Final Fantasy I is the amount of missing. The remakes also kind of fix that. They actually make the game, they tone down the difficulty level a lot. In the early Nintendo days, games were much harder than they are nowadays. And I was reading a history on that, saying that the reason behind that is, video gaming wasn't quite as popular back then as it is today, so most of the people playing the games were more hardcore gamers than today's more casual gamers, and it was usually the people writing the game who played the game all day long, testing the game out, and so it would seem easy to them because they played these games all day long, so they were really good at them. Today's games are much more easier compared to those days. So in the Final Fantasy I remakes, it's toned down a lot, but this isn't really a skill-based game. It doesn't take a lot of skill to play it. It's just you're playing it for the story and for the fun. You're not going to get good at attacking imps. It's up to the roll of the dice, of the computer dice. And I kind of like the difficulty. I don't think it makes the game drag. If you play Dragon Warrior, that game, you really just got to sit there and level up and level up and level up. At the very beginning of the game, you spend so much time leveling up at the very beginning of the game, not moving the story along at all. That game was way too difficult. I think the one for Final Fantasy I is fine, and a little bit of played of the remake, I kind of felt like it was cheap. Just my opinion. Should be pretty close to leveling up. Yeah, 8 more. So, a party of 5 and then 1 more battle. Should put me at level 2. Alright, so I just need 2 more experience points before I'm on level 2. We'll stay close, real close to the town, just so that afterwards we can go and heal up and, oh great, party of 5, and get some magics for our black mage. And here we go, Dave level up, it's going to list everything. My new hit point max is 61 points, strength up, agility up, vitality up. New HP max 59 points, all this. 57 hit points, and 49 hit points. Now, one mechanic of this game that's a little bit annoying is that even though I got level up, my current hit points did not go up at all to match it. Some games will max out your hit points to match your new max HP. Others will kind of add the difference or something. This game does nothing. So let's go ahead and, amongst other things, we want to visit the end so we can max out our hit points and travel a little bit further with our new magics and our new level up. We're going to teach Ariana. Only 2 I like are lightning and teach Ariana fire. Sleep and lock pretty much never land. They take up a whole magic point and just really aren't worth much. And given that after leveling up I only have enough to buy 2 spells, it kind of works out nice anyways. So let's not waste our 100 gold. And we have just enough to stay at the end. So let's talk a little bit about the magic system here. If I look at Ariana's magic, she has lightning and fire, and we can see for level 1 she has 3 magic points out of 3 magic points. For level 2 she has 1 magic point out of 1 magic point. That means I can use level 1 magics 3 times, level 2 magics 1 time. I have not yet visited a shop that sells level 2 magics, so I don't have any. And my max magic point for each level goes up as I level up, of course. But this magic system is a little bit different than most other systems. And here, without actually even going into the magic, you can see that Athena also has 3 level 1 magics and 1 level 2 magic. I could get Athena a black magic, but really I just want to use her for the cure. So I'm not going to spend 100 gold getting her a magic that I don't really want her to use anyways. Here we go. We have Great Imps. So these Great Imps will, of course, attack for more and give us more gold and experience points. So Athena plus Ariana was able to kill 1, and Dave was able to kill 1 by himself, but Aurora was not successful at killing 1 by herself, which is fine. Somehow it is dead. So let's see what this party gives me. 13 experience points. Much better than the party of 5 regular imps and 54 gold. Let's just fight around this area. The one thing that I do kind of worry about is potentially getting poisoned, because I have not bought any elixirs. Don't have a way of curing myself. When you get poisoned, each step you take in the overworld costs a hit point, so you can very easily die with one poison. That's why I'm staying south of the swamp for now. We'll get some potions later after we get to level 3. Once we get to level 3, we can go ahead and kill Garland and continue on with the quest. After we kill Garland and tell the king about it, that's where this video will end. And we'll continue past that in the next video. An enemy I can sometimes find in here is the Mad Pony. I have not ran into any Mad Ponies yet. Hopefully we'll run into one soon. And I could, if you're playing through, you can at level 2 go and defeat Garland. But we're going to wait till level 3. I think doing it at level 3 is the best choice, because he at that point he is very easy. Let's see, 121 for the next level up. We'll go get some. We'll go buy some potions really soon so we can go past this point. Yeah, with level 3 you can just march right in, kill them, and march to the next section of the game with ease. It's very easy at level 3. You can do it at level 2, and there's not any good reason not to, other than I kind of like to just spend a little bit of time getting to a proper level, and then continuing, and I don't have to worry about. I like to have all my characters level up at the same time, so I like to keep them safe from perishing in the middle of a battle. Right, let's go get some potions so that we can be safe from the poisons. Pure. I said elixir earlier. Pure is what you get to cure poison status. So let's get 2 pures. The heals are in place of a magic spell, but they're kind of expensive at 60 gold. The tent, I believe the tent allows you to save anywhere in the overworld, which can later on in the game be really helpful when you're about to go into a really tough cave. There are tough caves here that we need a tent for. It's nice to you know, from the town to the cave is a long walk. You finally get to the cave. You want to save your game. Aha, wolf. 2 wolves. We can see Aurora and Ariana together are powerful enough to defeat a wolf, and Athena by herself is powerful enough to kill a wolf. Give us 12 experience points for 2, that's not bad, that's 6 per. If we go straight up, that's where Garland is. If we go left, there are some nice little treasure chests. Here's the spiders that can cause us problems with poisoning us. Those 2 give us 15 experience points. To the right are some rooms with doors that are locked with a magical key that you don't get till much later in the game, so we're not even going to go over there. And look over here, we found, oh look, a little cap. I'm going to give our cap, all my characters can wear the cap, but I am going to give it to Ariana since she is the most vulnerable. We want to keep her safe. Her defense is not so great, and her is the least amount of hit points. Keep her well protected. Up here, there's another. Oh, the creeps. Creeps aren't so bad if you just get one at a time. Two at this point can be a little challenging. You can see they hit Dave for 12. And my characters are missing a lot. So even with all four, I can't defeat it in one round. Or I did not at that time, because a lot of misses. So it took 2 rounds, 4 attacks total to beat that one creep. So you can see why 2 is kind of can be rather challenging. And here I found a heal potion and a cabin. I believe the cabin allows you to save and at the same time restores your hit points and magic points. I could be wrong about that. Here's a little bit of a challenge. Let's see what happens. It's not a challenge at all. Never mind. Ariana can defeat him in 1 hit. We're not really hitting for a lot. Only hit for 8 damage that time. Those 3 only gave me 6 experience points. So again, no reason to go right because I don't have the keys to unlock those doors. A lot of missing. And finally, that spider's dead. Let's go ahead and heal Aurora. She's getting kind of low. I'm just going to stay near these steps since there's nothing else that we need in here. The bad guys in here give me the most experience points, so I want to stay in here, but I also want to be able to escape in case the ghouls are the one enemy that can really cause some problems for you. If you get 2 ghouls, that's really bad news. Look, just paralyzed Ariana. Oh, good, but we were able to get it in 1 go this time. Look, 23 experience points from that 1 ghoul. Let's see how far away we are. 37, not far away at all. We can just get 1 more ghoul. We can be on level 3 by the time we get back to the village, because after we get to level 3, we want to heal up 1 more time. Alright, and then it showed up real fast at the bottom, but we get first attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all 3 of these guys attack the top creep, and I'm going to use some magic to just on the bottom creep. Just 6 damage. Watch the lightning go. 40 damage. Man. So I'm going to have everyone attack the bottom one, but use the lightning on the top creep. There we go. The bottom creep is dead. I took 14 damage that time. And the 2 creeps are dead. We got 31 experience points, so we are almost at level 3. We will almost certainly hit level 3 by the time that we get back to the castle. So let's just go and start trekking back. Mad Pony. Here's the Mad Pony. So I think we've seen all the enemies that are in this section of the game. As you can see, the Mad Pony is not really hard. It does take more than 1 round to kill it, but it only hit me for 2 damage. And I hit for 13 damage that time. But nothing too bad. We'll go ahead and heal up Ariana. And now we're at level 3. New max HP is 88 points. 65 points. 59 points. And 50 points. At this point, Ariana can probably kill these imps in one shot too. No, didn't happen. Never mind. I'm going to stay at the end for 30 gold. You see, that whole time I got almost 200 gold. And almost, about a fifth of it was taken just at visiting the inn. Now we can just march up and kill Garland. It doesn't take that much time to get to level 3, which is why I recommend at this stage of the game just going and getting level 3. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it allows us to not only march through just obliterating Garland, but it makes also going to the next place we need to go very easy as well. Oh look, that time Ariana did kill the imp in one attack. Oops. And here is Garland, the first boss in the game. So as we can see, Garland has the princess. It's kind of silly. They never really explained why Garland captured the princess. What's his objective here? He just did it. And oh goodness, we get a ghoul right before we get to him. But since we are good guys and he is a bad guy, the obvious must be done, which is us killing him, getting the princess back. Let's talk to him. No one touches my princess. Light warriors? You impertinent fools. I, Garland, will knock you all down. So, I could just have all fighting. But since I did just visit the inn and I have all 3 of my spells, let's go to lightning and then fire. Might as well use them, right? 10 damage. 24 damage. 30 damage. And 8 damage. Let's see what the fire does. As you can notice, at this point, Ariana's spells aren't even as good as Dave's regular attack. That's why just stacking your team up with a bunch of fighters makes the game super easy, because they just slaughter. They have huge, very high hit points, and their attacks are really high. So you don't even really, you can get potions to cure the few times you need it, but you don't really even need it that much. Alright, so the monsters perished. And he gave us 32 experience and 250 gold. And I could just leave. Like, sorry. You can talk to the bats. Kiki. That's what they all say. Kiki. Where nice guys, let's talk here. So you are the Light Warriors. Thank you. Since we fulfilled Lucan's prophecy that Light Warriors would save her, that must be us. So we have verified what everyone thought must be true. And we get warped to the castle, and of course I could just leave the king. That's kind of stupid. Back to the king. Thank you for saving the princess. To aid your quest, I ordered a bridge built to the continent. Go now and make the orb shine. This loot has been passed down from queen to princess for 2,000 years. Garland stole it when he kidnapped me. Please accept it as my gift. it just might come in handy, which means it absolutely will come in handy later, or else it wouldn't make any sense for me to get it in here to say that. So, out of nowhere, we just popped up, fulfilled a prophecy to defeat the Knight Garland, who was really not that powerful, saved the princess, got the flute, made the king happy. He's going to build some bridge, apparently. So, I'll just pause here and say that this is one of my favorite things about this game is we're just plopped into the middle of a quest, defeated it, completed it, and there's still, we're just kind of warriors roaming the planet, and there's still not anything about what's going on. We just know the world's in turmoil, and these light warriors, who apparently is us, is supposed to right that wrong, but there's not really much else going on. I think it's kind of a cool plot point. Things still feel very open world at this point, even though we are being driven down a linear path. It doesn't really feel that way, and it doesn't feel too highly scripted at this point. They didn't just set up at the beginning, good guy, bad guy, at the end you kill the bad guy. At this point, we still don't even know why the world's in turmoil, who's the cause of it. We're still in discovery mode, and really what we've done so far in the game is just kind of like the beginning story, the prelude. The main quest hasn't even started at this point, though we've spent just under an hour playing the game. There's still a lot to discover, and at this point, what we're going to find out eventually is that there's really a whole world out there, and there's a lot going on, and we're going to take each of those pieces one by one, and over time a story develops and everything begins to make sense. And it's kind of that storytelling piece that really, when this game was released, that set it apart from all the other RPGs that had come out at this time. Just phenomenal storytelling, unlike anything else that had happened, and really sets up what Final Fantasy is really known for, which is its great storytelling. The storytelling in this game is very unique to all the other Final Fantasies. Usually we have very specific characters fulfilling very specific roles in the storytelling. This game doesn't have that. There's no backstory. They did make some prequels to this game that give a backstory, but they kind of... I haven't played those games yet, but from what I've read about that backstory, it kind of seems like they just shoehorned it in as a cash grab. But I don't know, maybe it's actually a really good game. I don't actually know, but it doesn't need a backstory, in my opinion. So let's cross the bridge. And so their journey begins. What awaits the four, they do not know. Each holding the orb that 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey. Return the light of peace to our world. And some credits, program, character design, Kenji Tabata, Square A Team, yes. And so, as it says, our journey didn't begin before, now our journey's beginning. Super cool storytelling techniques there. So this completes this part of the Final Fantasy playthrough. I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully soon I'll have time to make the next one.